Out right as well. Here, just in case you didn't know. Let's go to the next demonstration. What we got?
Okay, let's go here.
Hopefully we'll
All right,
be back.
the ball,
Kevin Durant is playing.
A lot
Luka
of times,
will play tonight.
Jokic from the top
Hayward,
of the floor.
we heard the
what also makes him dangerous is he can play below the free throw line extended as well. So this time, Jokic is in the block.
Listen, we see Paul George has been balling out of control this season, averaging career highs.
He's open, he gets the ball back. Jokic is a great passer.
We were talking about this earlier in the back.
A lot of times, Jokic will start to dribble up.
Is he going to
be
first team All-NBA?
DHO situation.
I'll hold off on that question. But now we'll talk about the team.
But this time,
how
this guard or wing is going downhill.
Has Paul George been with the Thunder this season, watching him take that next step?
I have to stay here and prevent this drive to the rim,
the best two-way
which now
player
opens up Jokic again on the pop.
The best.
Back to the big fella. He's a 32% three-point shooter, so enough to be able to draw the defense in. And if he gets you running at him, trying to get him off of the line, he's good enough to pump fake, put the ball down, and now again, he's in these assist-making situations, leading all centers with 7.5 assists per game.
And then you talk about intangibles.
Not only can he share the ball, but he can also hit game winners. We saw what he did last Thursday night against the Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, Jet, but he got in the paint, hit a tough shot, and had that buzzer beater to get the W. In fact, just in case, just a demonstration right here. What happened?
In the playoffs,
again, Jokic was at the top of the floor when he got that basketball back. A lot of times they'll run a 1-5 screen roll or something that gets him the ball in the middle of the floor.
The other thing I love
because of how great
of
a passer he is, he has both sides.
Plenty of space.
JT said this a lot. We're going to see Dirk Nowitzki on crunch time later.
Yes, we will.
Middle of the floor.
So
allows your bigs that are great passers to be able to see where the defense is coming. And if the defense is hugged up to shooters, guess what?
Definitely did.
I got isolation situation. Jokic puts it down. He gets Powell on his shoulder, gets into the lane. I don't know how he made this shot.
12 rebounds.
He went up, kind of moved it to the side.
Playing out of his mind. Jet says first team All-NBA. Degree of difficulty was very high on that shot right there. Of course,
I thought Jet had a great question in the back about what's the criteria. Because I agree.
You see IT, who used to get buckets right there for the Celtics. He was getting 28 points per game when he was wearing the Celtics green. Now,
Paul George a guard.
Finds himself out of the rotation, but he is being a professional about it. 7:30 p.m. Eastern on League Pass. That's where you'll see him.
Etc. But
let's make it happen. Game time. Coming back.
Arguably third in voting, or in at least what we feel the MVP race.
You've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now.
It's so good to be back. So to
back
me,
where
it's
lemon
a great
and pepper
conversation.
Get a buttery back.
We should have
we're
a conversation
freshly made
about,
just for you chicken.
Content for Turner Studios.
I like
have
that.
This all NBA debate on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
But Paul George, like Jet said, in so many ways, because of how high a level he plays on both ends, to me, that's what puts him into that real small number of guys that are all NBA guys.
Well, let's talk about this. How much more pressure does it put on him, seeing he's going to have to play without Russell Westbrook tonight, the guy who's second all-time in career triple-doubles? Is this more of a load that's going to go on Paul George's shoulders?
It is more of a load, but I think it kind of goes back to what Sam Presti and Troy Weaver did in the front office in OKC this summer, bringing in a guy like Dennis Schroeder, who, when Westbrook is out, either with injury early in the season, missed the first few games of the season, or in a situation like tonight where, unfortunately, Westbrook misses a game due to suspension, you have a guy, Dennis Schroeder, who is a starter in this league and has been willing and comfortable to make all the plays that you need to be made from that position. So it allows Paul to still, in some ways, play a similar role, but then at times when they need someone individually to put their foot on the gas, he actually is capable of doing it. And it's what's also great about the way Westbrook has been playing. He's been allowing Paul George to play this way all season.
Hey, Jet, defensively, when you hear this stat, what does it say to you? OKC is 11-0 when they hold their opponents under 100 points per game. So what does that tell you about what they're doing defensively?
Defense in this generation of basketball. Now, when Derek Fisher and I played, 100 points was the goal. You want to limit your opponents to 100 points, and you put yourself in a great position to win a game. But now it's like 106, 107. If you can get under that number, now you're talking. Now you're cooking with fish grease. And so Indiana's a team that holds them under 107 in the East. But in the Western Conference, OKC is the best basketball team defensively because they got a rim protector in Adams. They got a dog out front in Westbrook. And then they got Paul George, Mr. Lock 'em Up himself.
Team that also knows how to play under adversity. Right now, 4 comebacks when they are down by 14 or more. Look out for OKC. You will see them tonight on Crunch Time with Jared Greenberg. 9 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA TV. They're showing Isaiah Thomas plenty of love. They're showing him love right now in the Boston Garden. The tribute video, of course, his teammates, former teammates, all showing love along with the Boston faithful.
With Samuel Adams, we were always looking for the best hops. Out of 150,000 acres of hops in the world, these 16 are the best of the best. I can taste your middle fruit hops in every glass of Boston Lager.
You've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now. It's so good to be back. Back where lemon and pepper get a buttery back. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Choosing my car insurance was the easiest decision ever. I switched to Geico and saved hundreds. That's a win. But it's not the only reason I switched. Geico's a company I can trust. With over 75 years of great savings and service.
Season 1, 5, and 6, the man on your screen is the big reason why Uncle Drew has 6 30-point games along with 10 assists. To go with that, only Larry, Legend, and Hondo have more in Celtics history. And you know that guy, too. He's very familiar with the Boston Garden. Welcome back, IT. Of course, you're now rocking with the best. Bro Parrish alongside 2 champions, Derek Fisher, Jason Terry in the building. Game Time is on your screen. 9 games in the association for your viewing pleasure. 7 of them have playoff implications. You guys ready?
Yes. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We got to start with a status update. Keeping you up to date with everything going on tonight. Russell Westbrook will not play, sitting out 1 game due to suspicion. Blake Griffin, Kawhi Leonard out with rest. The Cousins, he's out as well with that foot. KD will play. Luka Doncic is probable. Horford, Hayward. We'll get the update on them with Amanda Flugrad later on in the next block. But in the meantime, we have to welcome a very special guest to the Game Time set. Austin Rivers joins us from the Houston Rockets. Welcome to the Game Time set.
How you? What up?
Jeez, what's up,
doing, man?
Of course, the brotherhood. We're going to talk about Duke and the tournament in a second. But in the meantime, we got to talk about the Houston Rockets. So far this season, Mike D'Antoni, the offense, what's so great about your skill set that's been such a great fit with the scheme in Houston?
No consequences for any shots you take. I guess that's been the best thing. But really, I've been able to fit in well. I think I added something they didn't have off the bench, especially on the defensive end. You look at our starting lineup with Chris and James. A lot of times they bring me in early to guard those guys, Damian Lillards and C.J. McCombs. You can name any team in the West. So that's going to be a big role of mine in the playoffs. And then another guy who can score off the dribble. So adding that.
Austin, you mentioned roles, right? And for me, curious about the Rockets. You've played on many good teams, Clippers, now the Rockets. A lot of talent.
Right.
Where do you see yourself fitting in role-wise? You mentioned defensively coming off the bench. Overall, where do you see your role with this group?
This has been the easiest transition I've ever had since I've been in the league. More so than the Clippers, more so than obviously New Orleans and D.C. This has been the easiest situation I've ever kind of just slid right into. What they do is what I do well. We only shoot threes and we get to the rim. I don't really have a good mid-range game. I couldn't shoot it from the mid-range game like you guys. I either shoot it out there or, as JT and you guys know, I like to get to the basket. And then defensively, people really have not really talked about us on that end. But this year we've been a pretty good defensive team. And I really take pride in that. That's something I enjoy doing. That has grown in my game, and they allow me to do what I want on the defense end and let me and PJ kind of run that end of the floor. So it's been fun.
I'm going to piggyback off what you said when you talk about your moves and in-game moves. You know, James Harden, the Beard MVP, has one of the deadliest moves in the NBA today with the killer step back.
Yeah.
But your go-to move, talk to me a little bit about it. My ankles still hurting from that Clipper series when you hit me with it. But that right-to-left crossover is deadly. Where did you get that from?
I didn't have that really in high school. I got it when I got to the league. I just started working on it. I used to kind of be more of a straight line driver. My handle developed kind of my first couple years in the league. But that's my go-to right there, is that right to left. And now when people sleep on it, I kind of have counters for it. But yeah, I remember that series versus, that was kind of my opening party to the league, was playing against you guys. So yeah.
Played well.
Yeah, that's my first time. That was fun.
I mean, we had this basketball right here since we're out on the court. I mean, could we get a brief demonstration, maybe a reenactment?
Yeah, sure.
Come on, bro. You don't make me guard him again. You played the defense, brother. I don't think I want that ice.
You don't want it? I got to take advantage. He in the full suit. Let me get him real quick, man.
You know, it is what it is. So we know Golden State's sitting at the top of the Western Conference. When you hear that Austin Rivers is the Splash Brothers stopper, you say,
oh man.
He say he gonna cut the water off.
I say TBD, to be determined, man. With that team, I think we are the team that's built to be able to contend them. I really do believe that. I think we match up well with them. But I said this to someone else, because the other day somebody in the media was saying, you guys are the team, you beat them 3 times this year. I said, nobody has their number until you beat them in a 7-game series. So until someone does that, they're still the champs. I do believe we can do it, but we got to do it. So we'll see.
March Madness, great time of year to be a basketball fan. NCAA, NBA playoffs approaching quickly. Obviously, people know you from being at Duke University,
right.
Blue Devil through and through. Talk to us about that experience, right? Everybody's going crazy about Zion Williamson,
right.
What his future is.
Speaking
this right
of
here,
flashback.
I remember watching this and being impressed by the ice, water in the veins with the pull-up. Talk to us about that experience as a guy, 1 year at Duke, such high expectations, spotlight, people expecting you to do great things in your future. How do you live up to that and still be who you are?
Well, I think that's why the top players should go to Duke, in my opinion. It's an easy transition from there to the league in terms of just dealing with pressure. When you go to Duke, you have a lot of spotlight on you, and I think that sets you up for, if you are one of these top players, when you go to the league, it even magnifies. And it's interesting this year because Zion has been the most polarizing player that I think Duke has ever had as a rookie, since like Grant. I mean, that's been the last guy. I mean, but Zion has this, especially with social media these days, they're comparing him to LeBron and all of these things. So it's been tough, man. He hasn't really been able to enjoy college as a kid, it seems like. It just seems like since he got there, these expectations have been so high, but he's been living up to it. And this is going to be fun, man. This tournament is going to be really exciting. I'm so glad he came back and played. I think that shows his true colors. And I have Duke winning, man.
So you got right there.
So you're not going to put Arizona can't win it?
I don't know if the Bobcats are.
Arizona be in the
tournament.
You got to make it first.
We can play each other.
We're in the same tournament.
I want to ask you this, though.
No tournament.
What do you think Zion's impact is going to be if he decides to go to the next level?
If he decides?
I'm just saying, we just have to put that as a disclaimer. If he decides to make that jump, what type of impact will he have as a rookie?
I think he's going to have a big impact. People are obviously dissecting his game, especially with the shooting. But with the way the game's played now and called now with fouls, I mean, imagine him coming at you full speed, 275 pounds.
Taking that charge?
Break. It depends where we're at. If we out here, I am. We're right here, we might have to.
Right. Business decision.
Yeah, a business decision right there. Yeah, so I think he'll be fine.
No doubt about it. Well, thank you for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Always. Big fan. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Austin Rivers joining us. Of course, right now on Game Time. So, just in case you didn't know, the answer is Lakers Bucks at 8, Pacers Clippers at 10:30. The question: who's on NBA TV Tuesday night? Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the Auto Trader pregame.
Right, come on, get out there, over there, right to left, baby. Come on. It's too late for a 10-day, but coach, I can still. I felt something.
Hey. I don't know if you're on our insurance.
7:35 remaining. Tatum with the drive.
But I mean, like I said when I signed here, I'm here to help. Whatever they need me to do, I'm just here to help. I'm not here to cause any problems. And when my opportunity ups come, I know I'll be more than ready.
How tough is that to be patient, though? I mean, when you've done the things that you've done in this league recently.
It's tough because you don't expect to have to be patient after some of the things I accomplished. But, I mean, that's just, you roll with the punches. That's just been my story. So I always know to look ahead, talk things into existence, and whenever my name's called, I'm gonna be more than ready because I work hard each and every day to put myself in that position to be ready. So I know how it is in this league. Opportunities come and go, different situations, but they always come back. So when that time does come back and I'm able to play and showcase what I can bring, I know I will do that.
Has Mike given you a sense of whether you're going to play tonight?
I don't know, but I mean, if I don't, I understand. If I do, I'll be more than ready. So I'm not. I mean, it is what it is.
What was it like playing with the Emerson? Talk to Brad Stevens pregame and see him in person again.
It's always good, but me and Brad talk every couple of weeks, so it's nothing. It's nothing new, but it's good to see all these guys in person and just get that love. Like right now, I need that love. Like I mean, I've been through so much these last 2 years, and then coming back and then getting out of rotation, all those things. But like at the end of the day, I'm human. So like getting love and genuine love always feels good for the body, for the mind, for everything. So I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be around familiar faces, and you know, Brad's one of my favorite people in the world. So it's always good to be able to talk to him and see him in person.
You're going to get the love tonight, Isaiah, whether or not you play a second of this game. If the Celtics decide to put up a tribute video, what would that make you feel like?
I mean, it'll make me feel... I mean, if they didn't, I wouldn't be mad. Like, I know the love is going to be everywhere in this building, so that means more to me than anything. But if they do a tribute video, that mean the world to me as well. Because, I mean, I put my heart and soul out here on that floor each and every night. And I tried to play great each and every night, no matter what I was going through in my personal life, no matter what anything came at me with. I was just trying to play hard for this city and this organization. So anything that they showed me tonight would be much appreciated, and I know it's going to be a lot.
What was it?
I walked to the Nike store today from the hotel. So, I mean, everywhere I go in this city, especially when I was playing here towards the end of my time here, like my family couldn't even go too many places without being noticed and asked for pictures and things like that. So this city is one of a kind. I said it since I've been here. And all I did was go out there and give 100% each and every time out, and they fell in love with that. So like that love, like I keep saying, is genuine, and there's nothing fake about it. So anywhere I go in this city, I mean, people seem to show real love, and I just embrace it because, you know, these types of things can be taken away from you at any moment, so I don't take anything for granted.
What was it like playing with the Emerson kids last night?
It was funny, first off. They were not basketball players, so that was the funny thing. But, I mean, I enjoy those moments. Like, even when I'm back home or in the summertime, I try to play anywhere.
Again, looking at the notables for tonight, no Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, Kawhi Leonard out with rest, no Cousins. Durant will play. Luka's probable. Al Horford is probable with a knee. Gordon Hayward is out with a concussion. With that being said, speaking of Celtics, we bring in Celtics team reporter and host Amanda Pflugrad. We just heard IT talking to the media. You just had a conversation with IT as well. How did that go, and what was the conversation like?
Oh, yeah, you can definitely tell how much he loves this city. And like he said, it's a real, genuine love. He said, too, just the way that Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens took care of him and